Friends? Friends? We've only gone out together 3 times, and already you're telling me you just want to be friends? You never gave me a chance, and for that, you'll fry like a pork sausage.
It's not that I don't like you, it's just that, well, you're too nice a guy, I guess. I think I'd rather go out with someone more of it unpredictable.
Hello.
This doesn't look like the Lincoln Tunnel, Sam.
Looks to me like a marginally volatile hostage situation, Max.
Ooh, does this mean we get to kick some puffy white mad scientist butt?
Can't think of a reason not to.
You'll be of no use, freelance police. With the flip of a lever, my ungrateful lunch date will be reduced to a half cup of disoriented atomic matter.
I knew he wasn't a real doctor.
Shall I confront, subdue, and pummel the suspected perpetrator, Sam?
Sick him up, little buddy.
Ooh! Ow!
Hey, nice one.
Yikes!
Huh?
He's not a real guy, Sam. Can I keep his head for a souvenir? Why do you suppose it's ticking?
That's no head, Max. It's one damned ugly time bomb. Let's leave this criminal cesspool pronto.
Good idea, Sam. Maybe we can ditch the head somewhere while the credits are running. Mind if I drive?
Not if you don't mind me clawing at the dash and shrieking like a cheerleader.
Sam, is pronto a real word?
Goodbye, Sam and Max. I'll never forget all you've done here today.
Well, that was a pleasantly understated credit sequence.
I enjoyed the cheesy retro ambiance.
What the hell are you talking about, Max?
Sam, either termites are burrowing through my skull, or one of us is ticking.
Oops. Oh, yeah. Max, where should I put this so it doesn't hurt anyone we know or care about?
Out the window, Sam. There's nothing but strangers out there.
I hope there was nobody on that bus.
Nobody we know, at least.
Yes? 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 No! Really? Well, the same to you, Mac.
Another confused census taker?
Actually, it was the commissioner with another idiotic and baffling assignment.
Does it involve wanton destruction?
We can only hope. Due to the arbitrarily sensitive nature of the mission, we'll be meeting a bonded city courier out on the street.
Ooh, smells like a fiercely thickening plot.
I can't use these things together. This is a completely unusable thingamabob. This is a completely unusable thingamabob. I can't pick that up. No, really, I can't pick that up. Are you dense? I can't pick that up. Read my lips. I can't pick that up. I give up.
Now you've done it. You've broken Sam's spirit with your stupid attempts to pick up that silly object. In fact, if I didn't find his pitiful sobbing so amusing, I'd come out there and rip your limbs off. Just ignore them, Sam. Maybe they'll go away. Just ignore them, Sam. Maybe they'll go away.
Cash. Never leave home without it.
Yeah, we may need it to bribe slippery government officials. Me!
This is a completely unusable thingamabob. This would be more impressive in the dark, I think. I'd better turn it off first. It's Max. We've been through a lot together, this TV and I. This phone represents unhindered contact with the outside world.
Until they realize we don't pay the bills.
Vertical silverware storage. This is pretty damn self-explanatory. Never mind. I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding.
And?
I'm excited.
Who isn't?
What should we do now?
I'd like to spend the rest of the day harassing pigeons, but we should probably meet the commissioner's contact.
You're looking hale and hearty, little buddy.
I'm a coffee achiever, Sam.
Well, that's all. We don't go upstairs.
Not since the accident.
So, you want a piece of me, huh? Well, take a piece of this. Brutal.
But very true to life.
And here's one for your old man. I really respect Flint's business acumen.
Please, Sam, don't use the word acumen again.
It's my little buddy, ready for action.
Gratuitous acts of senseless violence are my forte.
You're such an adorable urchin, Max. I can't pick that up. This is a completely unusable thingamabob. It's Max. I love this car.
You're a sick puppy, Sam.
Somebody's been ripping off the U.S. Postal Service. Bosco's Guns, Liquor, Baby Needs. Bosco's Guns, Liquor, Baby Needs. Really bad food. Soiled office space available. Vehicles will be stolen. No way. Oh. It's a cute little hypercephalic kitten.
I'll call him Mittens, because I think he'd make a fine pair of them.
It's my little buddy, ready for act. It's a black light. I just love to turn this guy inside out.
Ooh, that gives me an idea.
According to these orders, something bizarre is happening at the carnival.
I thought that was the whole point.
Maybe we should check it out when we got nothing better to do, like guinea time. It's our orders from the commissioner, telling us to hightail it down to the carnival. It's more money than we'll ever need. I can't pick that up. This is what they do to merry-go-round horses who won't stay with the pack. If Max spontaneously grew antlers, he still wouldn't be this ugly.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's a carousel of bootleg Sam and Max portable car bomb games. Genuine Native American drums, manufactured by genuine Native Koreans. It's a box of pecan-flavored candies.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
It's a shelf full of Snucky's crap. It's a shelf full of Snucky's crap. He really loves his ice cream. He's one hell of a soda jerk. It's a box of pecan-flavored candies. I hate pecan-flavored candies. I don't indiscriminately use people, except Max. I don't think he'd want that. I can't use these things together. It's more money than we'll ever need.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
I don't think he'd want that. Are you in charge here?
Don't I wish? I'd have to go to Snucky U for another 6 years before I could run this place. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
Snucky U? That sounds exciting.
Or at least distracting.
Oh, it is. Snucky U is where all Snucky's employees are sent to learn the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the overs, and the unders of the amazing gastronomical and cultural phenomenon that is Snucky's.
Fascinating.
No, it's not.
Humoring.
At Snucky U, we're given intensive courses in patty pounding.
I had no idea you were so rigorously trained.
Hey, I can open any jar in the country.
Cool.
No, it's not.
Now, how can I put all that Snucky U training to use for you?
Are you sure Snucky U's not in the Bowl Coalition?
Positive. Now, what can I do for you?
Nothing.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
I thought I'd have something to say to you, but my mind's like a sieve.
Don't worry about it.
Are you in charge here?
Don't I wish? I'd have to go to Snucky U for another 6 years before I could run this place. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
I'd like to buy this.
Do you have any money?
Of course I do. Here.
Will that be all for you today?
That'll be all.
Anything else?
My little buddy has to use the facilities.
Facilities be damned. I need a bathroom.
They're in the back. Here's the key.
It's an awfully big rasp attached to that keychain.
Out of toilet paper?
Nah, we just had problems with thugs stealing our restroom keys. They're the cleanest in 9 counties.
The keys?
The restrooms.
You need some help, little buddy?
I think I can handle this myself, Sam.
Now, anything else I can do for you?
Nothing.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
Here's your key back.
Are you in charge here?
Don't I wish? I'd have to go to Snucky U for another 6 years before I could run this place. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
Nothing.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
Genuine Native American drums, manufactured by genuine Native Koreans.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Are you in charge here?
Don't I wish?
My little buddy has to use...
Here's the...
You need some help, little buddy?
I think... Now,
Nothing.
you have no idea how...
Max! I'm filled with disgust and an odd sense of foreboding.
And?
I think we should keep the rasp.
You're probably right. No one deserves to use restrooms that clean.
Well, that's all. Excuse me. Excuse me.
What?
Sharing this experience with you has reminded me.
I want twinklies! More twinklies! It's all nice and blimey. They ain't here.
So now what do we do?
Now we get in the bus and look for them, you idiots.
I knew that. Get out of Mr. Bumpus' way, ye partially clad varmints.
Who was that?
I don't know, but if it weren't for the carefree innocence of this carnival, I'd be breaking his kneecaps.
You're a demonic little imp, Max.
Stop!
It's our orders from the commissioner, telling us to hightail it down to the cart. Check this out, Jack. We're the freelance police. Here's our authorization to be here.
Now let us in before we replace you with a cheap renewable fuel source.
Let me run this by the boss. I guess you can go in, but be careful. Carnivals can be dangerous to your health. That was needlessly cryptic.
I'd be peeing my pants if I wore any.
Everything seems to be in order here.
Sam, look over there.
How dare you call in the authorities without consulting me?
Well, I tried talking to you, but you were off wallowing in your own self-pity.
Yeah, but
It's them. Hi, I'm Shep Cushman, and this is my brother Burl. Welcome to our carnival.
what's left of it?
I'm Sam. He's Max. We savagely protect the rights of innocents.
Even cruelly twisted ones such as yourself. Selves. Whatever.
Well, you sound like just the guys to solve our little problem. Walk this way. See this melted block of ice?
How could we miss it?
This used to be our main attraction.
Your main attraction was a block of ice?
Don't be dense.
Our main attraction was a genuine,
Authentic,
real life,
Bigfoot.
on ice.
Hey, let me get this straight. You want us to go traipsing all over the country looking for a soggy Bigfoot?
I've never been traipsing before. Does it hurt?
But Bruno must be returned to us.
He's a brutish, ignorant beast with no sense of right or wrong.
Hey, who isn't?
Besides, he's kidnapped our second main attraction.
Is that the block of ice?
No, it's Trixie, the giraffe neck girl from Scranton.
She disappeared at the same time Bruno did.
We can only assume that the monster took her when he made his escape.
I guess Max and I could search for your missing freaks, but we'll need free run of the carnival to look for clues.
Yeah, and free corn dogs, so we can uke all over ourselves.
No problem. Here's an all-day free pass.
Leave everything to us, and we'll have those abominations of nature back in your protective care before you can read the Koran.
Didn't he fight Godzilla?
Ugh. He's a nice guy, but sort of a drip. He looks delicious. How Kafkaesque. Jesse James' severed hand. And it's still twitching. So this is what happens to unsuccessful third-party presidential candidates. This is a completely unusable thingamabob. I can't pick that up. It's the door to Trixie's trailer.
That sounds like a country western song, Sam.
I can't pick that up. I'd better do something about that padlock first. I won something. The game must be out of prizes. I can't pick that up. Excuse us. We need some help, and although you seem dangerously unequipped brain-wise, we've come to you for advice.
Huh?
Whoa, you're a big boy.
That's why I sit down all the time.
Do you guys all go to the same tattoo parlor or what?
Actually, these aren't tattoos. It's my natural skin.
What do you know about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Who wants to know?
We're the freelance police, and we're in a race against time.
And we're barefoot.
All I know about Bruno is what the Cushmans tell me.
Well, that was useless.
You might want to try the Tunnel of Love, though. Rumor has it that one of Bruno's buddies hangs out in there.
Ooh, let's go, Sam.
Oh, hush. Do you have any idea what happened to Trixie?
Trixie, the giraffe girl from Scranton?
No, Trixie the talkative poodle.
She's my best customer. She used to ride the cone of tragedy for hours on end. I loved the way her neck used to whip back and forth when I cranked it up to full speed.
Your sadism is a credit to your profession. Me and my partner want to ride the cone of tragedy.
That's right, we've lost our will to live.
I'm not supposed to, but what the heck? You two look like a couple of caring, non-litigious mammals. Strap yourselves in, and I'll turn on the cone.
Ooh, I feel tragically empty.
Me too. It's as though an integral part of my essence has been ripped from my being.
Let's do it again.
Maybe later, chum. Hey, what happened to my carefully collected box of useless junk? Hey, tattoo boy.
What?
Where'd all my cool junk go?
It must have fallen out of your coat while you were on the ride. Here's a claim ticket. Take it to the Lost and Found.
Whack-a-rat. I bet they have 4 or 5 accidents a year on this ride.
Neat.
Cone of tragedy. If I didn't know that this guy was a highly skilled professional, I'd be very afraid. A strength-o-meter.
I shudder to think of the number of promising dates cut short by this fiendish contraption.
It's my little buddy, ready for action. Hey, Max.
What?
Can you ring that bell?
Sure.
You're my hero, little buddy. Holy cripes on toast!
Nothing personal, but you're the single ugliest thing we've ever seen.
Well, there was that computer game developers conference.
Have you lost something?
I've lost a whole bunch of neat junk. You must have been gifted with psychic powers to make up for your obvious physical shortcomings.
Bad deal.
Have you got a claim ticket?
Sure.
Wait here while I search through the back room. Well, here's all the stuff we've collected off the Kono tragedy today. It's all yours.
I feel whole again. Hey, this crummy prize doesn't come with any light bulb.
It must be our
It's a powerful refrigerator magnet that says World of Fish on its side. I wonder how that got in there. It's a black light. It fits perfectly. Want to ride the Tunnel of Love?
Yippee!
That's probably a good idea. I should have tried it sooner. Well, that was fun.
My little body's covered with swan pimples.
Want to ride the Tunnel of Love again?
Why not?
That's a good idea. Maybe I should try it when I'm a little closer to the fuse box. Get off of there, Max.
Why?
Check this out.
I'll never shave again.
You never did. This looks like the Tunnel of Love reset switch.
Just like at the bowling alley.
There. That should get things running again. Couchus spudus in his native habitat. Who are you?
I'm Doug, the mole man. Who are you?
I'm Sam. He's Max. We fight crime.
And we like long walks along the beach. What do you want from me?
What the heck are you, anyway?
I'm a mole man. Figure it out. I think he's a mole man, Sam.
You know, watching too much TV is super bad for the eyes.
Why do all you squishy, poorly focused blobs say that?
Never mind. Do you know anything about Bruno the Sasquatch?
Bruno the Sasquatch? Why, the stories I could tell you. Stop him, Sam. He's gonna tell us a story. I first met Bruno 25 years ago in Saigon. And then there was the time we all had our taxes done by a platypus. And shut up, for God's sake, just shut up!
Look, we just want to know where Bruno is now.
Gee, I have no idea where he went. Maybe you should talk to my uncle.
Your uncle?
Yeah, my Uncle Shabool. He's really into Bigfoots. When I was a kid, he used to tell me stories about giant Bigfoot parties, where all the Bigfoots of the world would get together and dance Bigfoot dances, and...
That's great, kid. Where can we find your uncle?
I don't know. He disappeared a short time after he helped build the largest ball of twine on Earth. I think I may weep openly. Look, you two seem trustworthy.
Oh, we are?
Yes, you can trust us as far as we can throw you. So if you bring me some pecan-flavored candy, I'll give you my key to Trixie's trailer. I'll also tell you a big secret about how Bruno escaped.
Why not tell us now?
Because I'm hungry.
Here, I thought you might like some candy.
Thanks. Pecan's my favorite. Hey, you're all right. Take this key as a token of my appreciation.
Wow, this is some key.
Okay, Sam, let's get the hell out of here. Wait, I've got a great story you should hear.
Keep it short, kid. My partner's got a low tolerance for long stories.
Well, it all started the day before today. I remember it like it was yesterday. It's not widely known, but Trixie had fallen in love with Bruno. Every night, she'd sneak into the freak show tent and read to him what she imagined to be his favorite bedtime stories. She seemed as happy as a self-mutilated parody of nature could be. But she could never truly be happy until her beloved Bruno was free. Finally, she decided to do something about Bruno's predicament. She begged Flambe, the fire breather, to free the Bigfoot from his icy cage. Flambe took pity on poor Trixie and liberated Bruno. And the happy couple haven't been seen since. Hell of a story, ain't it?
It's a keys key.
No, Sam, that's a crowbar. Let's pummel somebody.
You're such a cute, misguided little bunny. Hey, Max, come here.
What?
Watch this. Well, this is undignified.
Oh, boy.
It's a big closet.
Trixie's a big girl.
It's a hope chest.
I hope it's filled with more gold than my poor eyes can stand.
It's Max. That's a disquietingly tall bed.
How can you say disquietingly with a straight face, Sam?
I can't pick that up. Hey, there's a neat costume in here. This is a completely unusable thingamabob. It's a scorecard from the Gator Golf Emporium in Roomy Eyes, Florida. I had no idea cacti were so festive. Are you in charge here?
Don't I wish? I'd have to go to Snooky U for another
Hey, can you open this for me?
Sure, ain't a jar made I can't open. Anything else I can do for you?
Nothing.
You have no idea how often I hear that.
Holy cat heaven. How long do you suppose it took them to wind this immense ball of twine?
More importantly, how did they get it to stop rolling once it was all wound?
He looks like my 8th grade English teacher, but with more warmth. Fun facts about the world's largest ball of twine. If laid out from end to end, the ball would stretch from here to the far side of Jupiter. Also, scientists theorize that by 2053, the sheer weight of the ball will push the Earth out of its orbit, propelling our planet on a collision course with the Sun.
Good thing my life expectancy is only 6 years.
Way to take the short view, little buddy. It's Max. Words like big and large only begin to describe this thing,
I think stupid and inane would be useful additions.
not to mention grotesque. Now there's something you don't see every day.
What the hell are you talking about, Sam? We dump our fish heads out the window all the time.
Yeah, but these are halibut. According to the plaque, this is a shaving from the first foot of the ball of twine.
I didn't know it was old enough to shave.
It's a 1/200,000th scale model of the actual ball of twine.
And it's only 1/200,000 as stupid as the actual ball of twine.
Do you work here?
Yep, have been for 40 years. So how can I help you?
Stop staring at me.
I can't help it.
It's places like this that make me wish I were Canadian.
Well, they've got one of these too, but half of it's French.
You haven't seen an 8-foot-tall woodland creature answering to the name of Bruno around here, have you?
Are you talking about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Yeah.
He and a bunch of other Bigfoots helped build the ball of twine back in '56. Why, the stories I could tell.
No!
I've heard enough stories today. Have you seen Bruno recently?
I haven't seen Bruno in 30 or so years. Is he in trouble?
That depends on your definition.
I like to use the one that involves spiny echidnae.
Well, is there anything else I can help you with?
What's with all the fish guts flying past the window?
Those are leftovers from our last fish delivery. Our famous rotating restaurant has fresh fish flown in every day from the world of fish in Mosquitaville, Missouri.
This ball isn't really made from a continuous piece of twine, is it?
Yep, it's the longest piece of twine in the world by 92 yards.
That'll be all for now. Shake a leg, Max.
Hey, look! That's one long loose end.
Too bad we can't reach it from this side of the deck. You always need a large piece of string in games like this. I can't pick that up. I can't reach that door from here. He looks safe enough. Fresh fish. These exposed wires look like they're part of the restaurant control mechanism.
They look like overcooked pasta to me, Sam.
It's a conveniently located pair of mounted binoculars. What you doing?
Using my telekinetic powers to bend my tools.
Why?
To help me fix the rotating mechanism on this diner.
Well, that makes sense. Hey, lay off the swearing. We're trying to appeal to kids.
Get bent.
%, ampersand, $.
And colon, semicolon, too.
What are you doing?
Swearing in longhand, asterisk mouth. Have you heard anything about Bruno the Bigfoot?
Who that? Is Bruno the Bigfoot?
Sam, he's speaking in tongues.
What are these malformed tools good for?
Lots of things. Like scratching those hard-to-reach places.
Every place is hard for me to reach.
Would you like a free sample?
Sure.
Go ahead and take this one.
Thanks. Well, bye. I'm sure this is somehow useful, but I'll be damned if I know how.